Randy Leonard, he is, like I said, from the Oklahoma FHWA office. He is retired from Kansas DOT, and he's got 30 years of bridge design and inspection experience. With that, I welcome Randy up to the podium.
I'm glad to be here. As Scott mentioned, I'm retired from KDOT. I actually still live around here, live in Lawrence, and work in Oklahoma City. I do a lot of driving, so I see a lot of bridges. I want to just do a little presentation here that just to kind of update you on some of the things that are going on in FHWA here recently. The first thing that I'll mention is many of you know that Anwar was our bridge preservation engineer, and he moved to the Resource Center as the team leader for the Structures Technical Services team about a year ago, and that position has been vacant since then. We just heard this week that we do have a replacement for Anwar, so we are going to have some coordination at the national level again, and maybe not be quite as disjointed as we may have seemed a little bit in the last year, trying to sort of fill the shoes. And I think we've done a pretty good job. There's the 4 partnerships, and each partnership has a liaison from one of the division offices, and we've all worked together to try to make sure that we're providing a consistent message to all the 4 different partnerships. But Raj Alani will be the new bridge preservation engineer on a national level. Okay, just an overview. I'm going to talk a little bit about transportation performance management. We have a session on that on Friday. The National Tunnel Inspection Program. I just came back from the tunnel training. Let's see, Don Whistler and Jim Leeden were there. We learned a lot about tunnels and never did really figure out absolutely for sure what is a tunnel and what isn't a tunnel, but we'll get that figured out. Talk a little bit about the National Bridge Inspection Program and what's going on with it, and bridge management and preservation, and SHARP 2. Okay, MAP 21 started the transition to a performance-based highway program, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago? We instituted performance measures and accountability requirements on the in the NHPP, which basically is for the NHS. TPM is a strategic approach that uses system information to make investment policy and decisions and national performance goals, and you can all read the slides. But basically, it's just it's a way to measure how well we're doing. It not only helps us, I think, make decisions, but it helps us communicate with the public so that the public can understand what we're doing and how well we're doing it. There are rule makings that go along with this. We're in the process of putting together several rule makings right now that will affect bridge and tunnel owners. Pavement and bridge condition performance measures, and an asset management plan. Pavement and bridge condition performance measures, the national proposed rulemaking was issued January of this year, and comments were accepted through April 6th of this year. Proposed measures for the NHS bridges were for bridges in good and poor condition. Proposed reporting on targets, basically the reporting periods every 2 years, and minimum level, condition level for the NHS bridges is 10%. I believe that's 10% of the deck area. FHWA is currently reviewing comments and preparing the final rule. The asset management plan, there was also a proposed rulemaking issued that earlier this year in February. Comments were accepted through May. It was proposed to establish an asset management plan to improve and preserve the condition of the NHS assets, proposed minimum content of an asset management plan, and proposed minimum standards for bridge management systems. So it really just kind of sets up a framework for the states to work with. And we're currently in the process also of developing the final rule there. The tunnel inspection program, that just went into effect. We've established tunnel inspection standards, just like the bridge inspection standards, and a tunnel inventory. We have specifications for the National Tunnel Inventory, and like any good Fed program, we've got all sorts of nice acronyms. So the specifications for the National Tunnel Inventory is called the SNITI. And then we have the TOMI. The TOMI is the Tunnel Operations, Maintenance, Inspection, and Evaluation Manual, and it's kind of comparable to the BIRM for the bridge inspection side. And then we're currently in the process of doing tunnel safety inspection training. The first one was held in California about 6 weeks ago. Like I said, a few of us here today attended the one in Lakewood, Colorado 2 weeks ago. There's one currently being conducted in Vancouver, Washington right now, and there will be, let's see, that's 4. I think there's 4 more, so we're doing 8 total. We're providing funding for 2 people from each state, plus all of the FHWA bridge engineers basically to attend the training. And it's not a cheap undertaking. Not only are we covering the cost of the training itself, but the travel costs too. So, okay, the tunnel inspection standards, just like for the bridge inspection standards, we want to ensure uniformity, and we're trying to establish, or we are establishing, qualifications for the inspection team. Establishing national certification for inspectors. So once you meet the requirements, which include the training, you'll be a national certified tunnel inspector. We're specifying in detail the inspection method and determining the maximum inspection intervals, and establishing rules to maintain and make available written reports and notation of any action taken, current inventory reflecting recent inspections. We need to maintain good records for a lot of reasons, so that we know what we've done. We can go back and look what condition our tunnels or bridges are in, and as well as you probably all know, more and more the public is asking for that information, so we have to be able to provide it. The tunnel inventory, it's based on the specifications for the National Tunnel Inventory, the SNITI, and basically those specifications are all element level, just like the National Bridge elements. The structural elements are broken down into a lot smaller pieces, a little more detailed. The mechanical, electrical, and lighting tend to be at a little bit higher level and aren't broken down quite as fine. And then it'll be a 2-part implementation. Part 1 is the preliminary tunnel inventory, and I think that's due in December of this year. And Part 2 will be the actual inspections. The inspections are not due, the first inspections are not due till, I think, April of 2017. The SNITI, the specifications for tunnel inventory, includes an introduction, inventory items, element, index of inventory and elements, tunnel coding example, and references. The TOMI is the operations manual and inspection, the operations maintenance and inspection evaluation manual. The bridge inspection course is NHI 130110. So if you want to take it and you're not one of the 2 people from your state that get to go for free, as soon as these 8 sessions are finished, NHI will start offering this just like we do the tunnel training. The inspection training was developed by Michael Baker and by HDR, I believe. And they are, right now, they're doing the training along with there will be some FHWA staff helping out with that. There are prerequisites for the training, just like there are for the bridge inspection course. The 130101A basically is for people that are experienced. It's just a test out. Take a test, you get 3 chances to pass it, and if you get 70%, you're good and you meet that prerequisite. Or you can take the inspector-led training 130054, which is Bridge Engineering Concepts. It's basically the first week of the 2-week course. The first 8, like I mentioned, the first 8 sessions were provided by FHWA, 2 per state, 1 division office, headquarters, resource center, and federal lands. And we'll open up requests to teach the course in 2016. Here's the list of where the courses have been or are being taught. Sacramento in August, like I mentioned, Lakewood a couple of weeks ago, Vancouver this week. Nashville is coming up the middle of October, then Matson, Illinois in November, Boston, Atlanta, and Arlington. How many people have already attended it besides, when is Missouri going? Do you know?
We're going to Madison.
You're going, okay. So nobody else would have because all the other classes have been in further west. The implementation time frame. In 2016, we got the Office of Management and Budget Clearance. And in July, the tunnel standards were published, and along with the TOMI, the SNITI, the NHI coursework, et cetera. And it went into effect August 13th. And we began the training. December 11th is when the initial inventory submittals are due. And some of the implementation timeline, kind of time frame here, you need to have by August 13th, 2017, you got to have a qualified program manager, you got to have your initial inspections completed, and that will require a qualified team leader and tunnel-specific inspection procedures. So, because most tunnels are unique, like fracture critical or complex bridges, almost every tunnel will require specific procedures. Let's see, in March, April of 18, the submittals are due, and in April of 18, we'll begin our oversight program like we do for the bridge inspection program. And there's the website. Basically, it's just our bridge inspection website with tunnel tacked onto the end of it. Okay, the bridge inspection program. This is one that we're all more familiar with. MAP 21 required us to basically revise the MBIS and the national proposed rulemaking. Honestly, I think we were planning on having it out a little earlier, but right now it's tentatively scheduled for release in early 2016. We will be revising the coding guide, and it will be called the specifications for National Bridge Inventory, like the specifications for National Tunnel Inventory. We're still going to continue our risk-based data-driven oversight, which people like to call the 23 metrics. Just kind of an aside here, something that I run into all the time, I just want to mention. Well, these 23 metrics, so many people still have a misunderstanding of that and think that it was some sort of new requirement that was passed. But basically all it is, these 23 metrics are nothing more than performance measures, and just measuring your performance against the MBIS is really all they are. And there's still a lot of confusion I've seen out there about that. The 23 metrics, what things look like. We implemented them, used it the first time for real in 2011. Again, we got caught up a little bit here in some of the federal bureaucracy. In 2011, we did our review based on calendar year, and we have to work with about 3 or 4 different years in the Federal Highway Administration. We have calendar year, we have fiscal year, and we have performance year. So after the 2011 review, we switched to performance year, which starts in June. So after that, there's a kind of a difference here. So you can kind of see how things went. Metrics that were conditionally compliant year by year, and see how that number has dropped in the 4 years. We started out with 338, and we're down to 145 after the review this year. This is kind of a busy slide, but it kind of gives you an idea of all the different metrics. And then this is a similar slide presented in a different way that might be a little more readable on the screen, I think. And you can see at the top, it gives you the number that were satisfactory. That means they were either in compliance, full compliance, or conditional compliance. And the ones, obviously the ones that have the shorter bar are the ones we're most worried about. Metric 13, which is load rating, being on top of that list. Also, we're still having some issues with frequency, and you know, as a former state DOT guy, I understand that and the difficulty with that, but it's just something that we have to deal with. Bridge management and preservation. We're developing several new NHI courses on preservation. Some will be web-based courses and are available now. And then bridge management, there are also some web-based courses that are available now. And we're developing some bridge maintenance training, and reference guide. I know I'm going through these pretty quick, but you know, if you want more specific information, I'll be here all week, and just see me and I can give you these numbers and websites and things. Sharp 2, service life design for bridges, R19A. The goal of that project was to provide longer service life by design through durable and state-of-the-art materials, construction techniques, and utilization of emerging technologies. That's one that we're working on right now. We have 5 states that are lead adopters: Pennsylvania, Oregon, Hawaii, Iowa, and Virginia. And there's the website to give you more information about R19. Okay, I needed to change this picture and I didn't. This picture is somewhere in the Northeast. I don't know, maybe some of Iowa has covered bridges, right? So, all right, any questions? All right, thanks a lot.